Hello my friend, in this video I'm going to explain Spotify's streaming rules so you know how Spotify counts plays and streams. So Spotify counts a stream once a song has been listened to for 30 seconds. Streams will be counted after 30 seconds even if the song is on repeat, but will not be counted if the Spotify app is muted. So with that said, Spotify has a large number of streaming rules in addition to this, with some being fairly obvious and some being much more behind the scenes. So I've researched all of the ways that Spotify counts plays and streams and made a video, as well as you can see an article on this. So if you'd like to follow along, or if you simply prefer the written word format, simply Google Spotify streaming rules best friends club. So when you are streaming music on Spotify, make sure that you listen to that song for at least 30 seconds before skipping it if you would like that stream to count towards that artist's stats. However, with that said, there are additional streaming rules that can affect an artist's behind the scenes Spotify stats when it comes to how long a song is listened to and how the listener actually interacts with the Spotify app before, during, and after listening to that song. So let's take a deep dive into Spotify's streaming rules. So the very basics are that you need to stream a song for 30 seconds for it to count, but if you would like to learn more, let's dive a little bit deeper into Spotify streaming rules beyond the basics. So on the article that I've created, as you can see, I made a beautiful little table here that you can screenshot, or if you want to check out the article, you can see it in depth. But there are a few different Spotify streaming rules, and I'll break those down for you right now. Starting at the top with the most basic. If the listener streams a song for 30 seconds, that does count as a stream. If the listener repeats the song after listening for 30 seconds, it still counts as a stream. If the listener skips the song before listening for 30 seconds, it does not count as a stream. If the listener skips the song right after the 30-second mark, it will count as a stream. If the listener streams the song while the Spotify app is muted, it will not count as a stream. If the listener is using a free Spotify account, it does count as a stream. If the listener is streaming while offline, it does count as a stream. And if the listener is the actual artist of the song, it should still count as a stream. So again, this above table really goes into the very basics of how streaming works, whether a single stream is counted or not. However, you may or may not know that how listeners engage with the song and the Spotify app can greatly influence how Spotify rewards or punishes that artist. So Spotify is built around a complex algorithm that collects user listening data and behavior to figure out how to recommend great songs to its users. For example, positive engagement will send positive signals to the Spotify algorithm, which may result in that artist getting that song pushed into more Spotify algorithmic playlists, greatly increasing that artist's streams and reach. So here are some ways that listener engagement can influence the behind the scenes Spotify algorithm and stats. So one positive streaming rule includes listening to a song multiple times, and this doesn't even have to necessarily meet back to back. As long as you're going back and listening to that song more often on repeat, essentially just more than once in any way, Spotify sees that as positive engagement. Also, if you follow the artist after listening to that song, the Spotify algorithm will see that as a positive signal. And if you hit the like button on that song, or save the song, or add it to any one of your playlists, all of those are individually great positive signals. However, some negative streaming rules include if you skip a song before the 30 seconds mark, the Spotify algorithm may see that as a negative signal. If you hit the dislike button on the song, if it's available, the Spotify algorithm will obviously see that as a negative signal. If you stop using the Spotify app after listening to a song before the 30 seconds mark, the Spotify algorithm may see this as a negative signal. Basically, this means that you listened to the song and you didn't like it enough to hit the 30-second mark, and you didn't like it enough to actually stop using Spotify in general for that time being. They probably won't like that very much. And lastly, if you stop listening to a Spotify algorithm playlist or a Spotify editorial playlist after listening to a song, the Spotify algorithm may see that as a negative signal. In that more specific instance, this may end up having that song get pushed down in the Spotify editorial playlist or algorithmic playlist placement, or eventually getting pushed off completely altogether. With that said, the Spotify algorithm actually looks at different relationships between artists, songs, and even users to provide really great song recommendations for its users. So beyond that, there are actually some even more advanced streaming rules that can impact a artist on Spotify. So the Spotify algorithm also looks at different relationships between artists, songs, and even users to provide really great song recommendations to its listeners. So for example, if Spotify noticed that people who are listening to Jay-Z tend to also listen to Kanye West, the Spotify algorithm may add a Jay-Z song to a Kanye's fans playlist, even if they are not following Jay-Z, because they are likely to enjoy that song. So when you stream a song and positively or negatively engage with that song, Spotify is also looking at who you streamed before that song and who you stream after. They may not always use that data, but they are collecting it in the algorithm to provide recommendations. This can also impact a song's position in one of Spotify's algorithmic and editorial playlists, which I mentioned just before. So a song that gets positive engagement may move up to a higher position on that playlist, while a song that gets negative engagement may start to move to lower positions and eventually get removed from those playlists altogether. On this article that I've created, I actually go a bit more in depth on some topics like, does Spotify count streams on repeat? Does Spotify count streams on mute? Do streams from free Spotify users count? Do offline Spotify streams count? Does Spotify count your own streams if you're the artist? Can you fake streams on Spotify? Can Spotify take away streams? How to see streams on Spotify and how to actually become a Spotify artist yourself. Spoiler alert, it's actually quick and easy, and it's quite cheap as well. Basically, I covered a lot of these in this video, but if you want to go a little bit more in depth of how any of these specific rules work, this article is a great place to dive into that further. So with that said, hopefully you found this video useful. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe and all that good stuff so that you can keep seeing more videos like this. Other than that, have fun on the Spotify app, or if you're an artist, good luck on your next release, and I will see you in the next video, my friend. Have a good one.